acabo de iniciar yo. Vale. A ver, un momentín. A ver. Vale, damos un par de minutos a ver si se conecta más gente. Vale, como os comentaba, normalmente en esta práctica en esta quedan 2 sesiones de teoría de Android, ¿vale? De teoría, de explicación, ¿vale? De lección. En principio en esta íbamos a ver la parte de servicios y broadcast receivers, ¿vale? Pero y en la última, después de fallas, íbamos a ver la parte de sensores y geolocalización, ¿vale? Como habréis visto que en la sesión de esta semana en la parte opcional se toca ya la parte de geolocalización, ¿vale? Vamos a intercambiar las dos sesiones, ¿vale? Y vamos a ver hoy la parte de sensores, que es bastante, entre comillas, sencillita, ¿vale? Y vamos a ver algún ejercicio de geolocalización, ¿vale? Y por último, bueno, como creo que voy a intentar acortarla, ¿vale? Que es algo que suelo hacer todos los años, dejar pues igual mitad de clase, ¿vale? Para un poco que me comentéis cómo vais con el proyecto, porque, bueno, hay algunos que vais más rápido, otros que vais un poco más a un ritmo un poco más despacio, ¿vale? Y aprovechar para hacer un poco de puesta en común, que me comentéis cómo vais, las dificultades que vais encontrando, etcétera. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Vale? Y os he pedido, bueno, sabéis que la docencia es híbrida, ¿vale? Os he pedido de hacerla completamente online, porque, bueno, uno de mis hijos estuvo en contacto con un positivo y, bueno, y aunque no estamos estrictamente confinados, pues prefiero mantener limitar los contactos al menos durante esta semana, ¿vale? Vale, pues a ver, vamos a ver, un minuto. Vale, antes de empezar, vamos a ver el ejercicio de la semana pasada, ¿vale? Que, a ver, vale, que como sabéis consistía, bueno, en utilizar en utilizar, bueno, dentro de la parte de programación en paralelo, ¿vale? Utilizar async task y handlers, ¿vale? Para ejecutar determinadas tareas en segundo plano, ¿vale? En la parte de programación concurrente. Entonces, vale. Un momento, se abre Android. Vale. Un moment. Okay. So, well, I start speaking in English, okay? I'm going to share the screen. Screen 2. Let me open the me open Android Studio. Wait a moment. Okay. Wait a moment. I'm starting on the studio. Okay. Okay, so the idea was to wait a moment. Okay, here you have the. Okay, the idea was to well, retrieve some data, okay, from an URL. Okay, so we have an idea to do. The idea was to do a very simple application. Okay, I've seen that only a few of you have submitted the exercise. Okay, even if it was optional, I was a bit worried about that. And so the idea it was that a very simple application, okay, where we have an edit text where the user can enter an URL, okay, an internet address, a button, okay, to retrieve the content from the URL, and finally a text view to display the response from the URL, okay. So here you have a very simple implementation of that, okay. Well, this is a bit more complicated, okay. Because I included the option to request to display an image. Okay, so for example, I have I'm going to execute it, and we'll see whether it works or not. Give me a minute. Okay, it's building. You can see my screen now with the Android Studio and so on the device. I'm sharing correctly. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Okay, give some time to Android Studio. Thinking. Okay, so well, what we have here is in the Android manifest, as you know, we are requesting the permission to access the internet. Okay, very simple, and we have just one activity. Okay. And well, what we have here is the I'm going to well, the onCreate method is very simple. Again, we have just we just set the layout, okay, and we have some references, okay. We have we have a text view, we have an image view because I wanted to implement the option to retrieve an image, and I have the edit text, okay, and we have the listeners on click, okay, for the two buttons. Okay, I have created two different async tasks. One, I call them HTTP call and HTTP call image for the one with the image. Okay. In the first one, okay, let me see if it's already okay. If I click here, okay, I should get some Hello Valencia, okay, which was the content of the URL that you had in the document. Okay, so here we are executing this async task, okay, which runs in the background because, as you remember, okay, to access the internet we need to be we cannot carry we cannot access the network, okay, from the main user interface. Okay, so when I click here, I am executing that, and well, I have this is an internal class, okay, HTTP call, which extends async task, and well, I have implemented just two methods. Okay, you remember from previous week we have the publish progress and on pre-execute. Okay, in this case I have just implemented the doing background, okay, which contains the code that is executed in the background, okay, and in a separate thread, and the on post execute, okay, to actually set the text, the string that we have retrieved from the URL. Okay, in this case I have hard coded the URL, okay, this monkey blah blah blah, and well, I create an HTTP URL connection. Okay, I have set some information here, but some of them is not strictly necessary. I call the connect method of the connection of the HTTP URL connection. Okay, and well, from the get response this connection, I can I call the get response code. Okay, and if the response code is different from okay, everything okay, okay, I will throw an exception. Okay, and if everything is okay, I will create a buffer reader. Okay, and I will get an input stream. I am reading here line by line. In this case, I have just one line, so I could do something more simpler. Okay, but okay, it's a possible implementation too. Okay, so I write, better said, the buffer on a writer. Okay, and finally at the end of the method, okay, here in the writer I am putting everything in the URL. Okay, and at the end of the doing background method, okay, I will return a string, okay, which I obtain from the toString method of writer, okay, which is the result of that. And later on, the on post execute receives this string as parameter, okay, and what I do, this method is executed in the user interface thread, okay, I execute that this set text of the text view, okay, so I am displaying the text string that I have retrieved from the URL. Okay. In the second case, I need URL image. Wait a moment. For example, I had here. Cannot copy that. Wait. Wait a moment. No. I want to copy that, but I cannot because it's too long. Wait a moment. Okay, here. Okay, so I can go here and open this one. Okay, and no, cannot paste. I want to paste the URL, but I am not able to. Wait a moment. Let's go back. No. So you get the idea what they want to achieve, okay? To get the image. Okay. Partager les liens. Non, partager les liens, non. Afficher l'image. No me deja copiar el bicho este, la URL. A ver si encuentro una mejor manera. Dame un minuto. A ver ahora. Ahora. Vale. Okay, so it should work. Okay, I have the URL here. If I click on get image, okay. Wow, it worked. Okay, so essentially it's very similar to the example before. Okay, in this case, the only difference is that I am creating a URL from the edit text. Okay, edit text dot get text, and I convert it to a string with the toString method, and again. I execute the HTTP call image. Okay, in this case, to make it simple, I have the URL defined here. Okay, I could pass it also as a parameter. Okay, but well, this is the same. I create the connection. In this case, I am creating a bitmap. Okay, and in this case, I create the input stream. Okay. Here it is again an input stream again. It was in line. I create the input stream, and then I create a bitmap with the bitmap factory class and the method decode stream, and of course the stream. Okay, and finally, what I am returning here is a bitmap. Okay, here you can see that I have defined it to have a bitmap as parameter on post execute method. I'm very simple. Okay, again, I get the bitmap. In this case, I am getting an image, and I said I have an image view in the layout, and with the set image bitmap method, I display that in the application. Okay, very well, quite simple. Okay. Do you have any question on that, on this example? No. Así sí. Daniel Mendoza, buscar en Google de ordenador, si no. Sí, pero no estoy seguro de que me deje copiar. Copiar desde el ordenador al virtual device. ¿Vale? Vale. ¿Quién pregunta? Who did complete the exercise? You know, with the this if you completed the exercise, and you can put the sad face, the sad emoji, if you didn't complete it, just to get an idea. No, nobody complete that. Okay, you will use that. Okay, in the last I will upload again the code, so you have the example. And in the next session, that will be in 2 weeks, okay, the idea of if you have read the project, the idea is that you are able to get the data directly from the website from the data server of the Generalitat Valenciana. Okay, so you will need, you can implement that in many ways, but okay, one of the easiest one is this, in my opinion. Okay. Async task, I think, is getting deprecating in API 30. Okay, but well, it's still for simple connections. I think it's a good way to implement networking. Okay. And that's all. Okay. 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 If you are interested. Okay. Okay. Here you have the documentation here on. Oh, wait a moment. On async task, okay, and actually the class was deprecated in API level 30, okay, and well, you can use the Java util concurrent method, okay. Okay, actually, now the recommendation of Android is to use executor. Okay, great. You have also it here. Okay, but essentially it's an object that you have you can take a look here that you execute a runnable task. Okay, and here you have a good example of that. Okay. Okay, so if you have not any question, we are going to proceed with the wait. Okay, so well, as I told you, my original idea was to explain today broadcast receivers and services, but okay, since we are not going to use that in the Android project, we could, but it's not actually it's not necessary. I think we could move to the topic 7. Okay, on sensors and location. Okay. And well, I have something on Bluetooth. We'll explain this later. Okay, so let's go into sensors. So well, you know that any device has a lot of the hardware of any device has a lot of sensors. Okay, depending on the device. Well, that's one of the problems of Android, that there are many different kinds of devices. Okay, and you can find very different sensors and very different hardware in order to perform many sensoring activity. Okay, we can access, of course, from our applications these sensors with an API. Okay, and well, usually the first thing to do is to get an instance of the class sensor manager. Okay. With this instance, we can get a list of sensors of a certain type. Okay. We can obtain an object of type sensor for a particular sensor with get default sensor. Okay, for the type. We'll see types later. Okay. We can register an event listener. So it's called when the sensor detects some change, okay, with register listener, and also we can unregister an event listener, okay. This sensor class have several static attributes, okay, of type integer, of type int, better said, okay, that defines all the different types of sensors. Okay, you have the accelerometer, the light, the magnetic field, ambient temperature, and so on. Okay, and with the sensor we can access other methods to get information about the sensor itself, right? the name, the type, the vendor, okay, the fabricante, okay, the power consumption, and so on. Sensor event listener, okay, is an interface, okay, which declares two methods, okay, that we must implement in order to deal with events, okay, produced in a certain sensor, okay. We have two methods: on accuracy change, okay, that is called when the accuracy, okay, la precisión of a sensor changes, okay, and on sensor change, okay, that actually is called when the sensor values change. Okay, these values of the precision, okay, are declared again in the class sensor manager, okay, and it can be very high, low, medium, or unreliable, okay, cuando no es fiable. And again, with the class sensor manager, we have several attributes, okay, with some predefined values for the rate of notification to the listener. Okay, you may think that, okay, a sensor will be changing continuously. Okay, so we don't want to get notified every time the sensor changes. Okay, so we must provide a value, okay, for this rate of notification. Okay, from that, well, ranges from fastest game, for example, for games, okay, where you are moving the device to play some game, normal, or also user interface level. And with this class sensor event, okay, we can we have some public attributes, okay, where we can obtain information about the event triggered by the sensor, okay, the accuracy, the sensor, okay, the sensor, an object of the sensor class describing the referring to the sensor that has actually generated the event, the timestamp, the time in nanoseconds, okay, and the values, which is an array of float, okay, and the size and the content of the values array will depend on the sensor. Yeah, so you get some well, we are not going to go depth into all the sensors, okay, we are just to get just going to give you some concepts about well, mainly position sensors, okay, and how to register the movement of the device, okay, and later on we will talk a bit about the GPS. So in Android we have two sensors, okay, that we can obtain the position of a device, okay, with two sensors: the geomagnetic field sensor, which is the type magnetic field, and the accelerometer, okay, which is of type accelerometer. In both cases, in order to provide the position, okay, we use a reference system. Okay, the device uses a reference system that is formed by a plane perpendicular, okay, to the surface of the Earth, okay, an horizontal way, and oriented towards the North Magnetic Pole, okay, and another plane tangent to the surface of the Earth, okay. And you can have also another proximity sensor, which is of type proximity, that lets you know the distance to an object. Okay, so in this case, depending on the sensor, instead of a value with the distance, it can return near, far, okay, some qualitative, let's say, result. So here you have a, well, a very bad drawing, okay, where you can see the del plano perpendicular al suelo, okay, en dirección al norte magnético, ¿vale? Bueno, con una parte superior y bueno, que puede ir girando en una dirección u otra, ¿vale? With this one we obtain the azimuth, okay? And with the other one we can get the orientation related to the pitch, okay? How the I don't know if you see my hand. Okay, with one sensor I can get this one camera, okay, and with the other one I can get the pitch. Okay, it's something like a plane. Okay, and finally I can also get, okay, the roll of the device. So in general, okay, the geomagnetic sensor is less accurate than the accelerometer of the device, okay, when determining orientation, but the power consumption is lower. Okay, so well, when we need precision, we will use both sensors. Okay, and with the data of these two sensors, we can obtain a rotation matrix. Okay, and from this matrix we can get the orientation, okay, in each direction. Okay, here you have well, an example. Okay, we are not going to implement that. Good. Okay, well, an activity, okay, that actually implements the sensor listener, and we are going to define some arrays, okay, from the accelerometer, from the magnetic sensor, okay, with 3 values, and we will get a rotation matrix, okay, in this case with 9 values, and the orientation. Okay, we have a sensor manager, as we have seen at the beginning, okay, to get the to obtain the sensors. And in this case, okay, in the onResume method, we register, okay, for we register the listener, okay, for changes, okay, in the accelerometer and in the magnetic field, okay, here providing the sampling frequency. Okay, in the onPost method, let's say when the activity is post, we will unregister the listener. Okay, and well, what we do is the in the onSensor change method that we implement, okay, from the interface, we copy the values, okay, to the corresponding attribute according to the, we copy the values that we obtain from the sensor. Okay, in this case, if the sensor is accelerometer, okay, we copy this in the accelerometer array, okay, and if the sensor is type magnetic field, we copy them in the magnetic one. Okay, and finally, with the method update orientation, okay, another one we implement, we obtain the rotation matrix, okay, and the orientation that we can get from this rotation matrix. Okay, you can, well, you want, you can try to implement something like that. I think it should work. Okay, so that's for getting the orientation. For registering the movement of the device, okay, you know that, well, with the device you can get a lot of information about your movement. Okay, the acceleration, okay, the accelerometer that includes the gravity itself, gyroscope. You can detect a significant movement. Okay, for example, in my phone, okay, which is Motorola, if I shake the phone, I get the light. Okay, this is done with these sensors. Okay, and for example, you can have a step counter. Okay, if you have one of these applications that are used to register when you walk or when you go running or cycling and so on, you can also register the steps by detecting the movement and according to some patterns to infer to register the steps that are worked by the user. Here again, well, concept is that the values that are provided by the sensors are always referred to the device coordinate system. Okay. So in some cases, you may need to do some kind of change of the reference system. Okay. And well, I think that's all. I think maybe you can. A moment. I will open. One moment. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, if you're interested, you could take a look at again, so always at the Android documentation. Okay, there is a good overview of the sensors. Okay, and well, the motion sensors, what I have explained very quickly. Okay, the motion sensors, accelerometer, gravity, gyroscope, so on. Environmental, for example, the illumination, the humidity, even. Okay, the photometer and so on, and of course the position. Okay, the orientation and the magnetic field sensor. Okay, here you have all the a table defining all the different sensors that you can find in an Android device. Okay, and well, the framework that we have seen. Okay, the sensor manager, the sensor event, and the listener to these sensor events. Okay, and if you go into a given category, for example, in motion sensors, okay, you will have all the three axes. Okay, and all the information about the motion that can be provided by the different sensors. Okay, so we can. In many cases, we will combine data from different sensors to give to obtain a better picture, okay, of the device or the environment of the device. Okay. Okay, and I think you have okay. Something I wanted to show you. Okay, there is a very interesting. If you have, I think it's also available for iOS. Okay, there is an open source project which is called Firefox. Okay, physical phone experiments. Where you can this is developed by a university. Okay, Aachen University. And what's interesting is that you can install that. Okay, this is on the Apple Store, and it's free. Okay, and well, you can access all the sensors. Okay, in a given device. If the sensor is not available, the application will tell to you that the sensor is not available. Okay, and you can play with that. Okay, and well, you have a lot of YouTube videos on the different experiments that you can carry on and so on. This is very well documented, okay, and also you can check, okay, well, there is a database of sensors, that's interesting, and there is the source code of the application, okay, that's something that you can download and take a look of, okay. I could say that you can download the application, play a bit with it. Okay, you will discover that with the sensors on your device, you can do very different things. Okay, and later on, if you are interested, you can take a look at the source code to see how it is actually implemented. Okay, here you have the source code in GitHub. Okay. And well, you're already familiar with that. Okay, you have here the start, main. Okay, we are going to take a look at the main manifest. Okay, here you can see the permission that are requested: internet, record audio, Bluetooth, access the location, of course. We will see it now, network state, and so on. And well, the definition of the application. Okay, we have one activity here, another activity here, three activities only, I think. Yeah. Okay. And going back. Okay, and here you have the code. Let me check which is the. Okay. Okay, the main activity is the experiment list, which is here. Okay. Oh, well, a lot of imports, of course. And you have an adapter here. A holder. This is the adapter. Experiment category. That's parent. That experiment. Okay. Here you have the onCreate. Okay, you set the theme. Well, the layout. You can take a look at the layout. This is funny, okay, because you can, when you play with when you do the experiments that are provided by the application, you can move and do some movements with the device. So they have implemented a disclaimer to avoid damaging the phone. Okay, a warning. And well, you have an on-click listener, and you can start the experiments. Okay. So if you are interested and have time, I think it's a very interesting project. Okay, and for example, actually the experiments are defined in a different. Okay. Okay, there is a sonar, for example. You know the sonar, which is the one that you can. This is very funny. Okay, if you put yourself, if you are in a room, okay, you can activate the sonar, and what the phone will do is to play some sound, okay, some noise, ping, 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 some ping, and it will listen to the sound that is reflected into the walls and into the floor, and it will display the distance according to the speed of sound from all the walls and the floor and the ceiling in the room. Okay, so something to take a look at. And well, regarding geolocation, okay, for accessing location in Android can be a bit complex some way. Okay, in general we have two APIs. Let me open that. Okay, you can either access the framework API, okay, which will be the low level, Okay, or you can use the Google Location Service API. Okay, the preferred way to access the location is the second one. Okay, and you have several implementation. Okay, if you use Google Location Services, you need okay, you need that your phone, of course, and that your virtual device have the Google Play services installed. Okay, in this case, you will be able also to. Ahora te contesto, Mancio. ¿Vale? You don't need to you need to have a Google account. Okay. So regarding the location, okay, in an Android device you have several ways to access the location, okay, to get some information on the location via the GPS, okay, via Wi-Fi, okay, because of the near Wi-Fi networks, or via the phone network, okay, the cellular network. We can access these different location services with the location manager class. Okay, with this one, okay, we can obtain, okay, periodic updates of the location. Okay, and even we can launch an intent, for example, if the device is close to a geographical position. Okay. In this case, well, as the same that we did with the sensor manager, we create a location manager, okay, with the context.getSystemService method that we already know, okay, and in the Android manifest file we need to request, okay, two permissions, okay, the access course location, okay, acceder a una ubicación menos aproximada, ¿vale? Menos precisa, o access file location, ubicación precisa, ¿vale? In the Android manifest file, okay? You will always, in any application, you will always request both permissions, okay? Especially the second one, because the second uses the location via GPS, okay? But for example, even it may happen, something you should take into account, that, for example, when you are within a house, or you have no visibility with the satellite, your device may not have access to the GPS. Okay, so in your application, I will always recommend to not rely only on GPS, even if it provides the best location. Okay, to also take into account the telephony or the Wi-Fi location. Okay. There is another class, okay, that offers an API, which is a location provider, okay, and actually this represents a location, one of these data providers, okay, the GPS again, the phone, or the Wi-Fi. And with the location provider, we can get information about the accuracy, again, the consumption, and if the location provider provides additional information, and for example, about altitude. Okay, with the GPS, we can obtain information about the altitude, or we can obtain information about the speed. Okay, that probably with the Wi-Fi we won't be able to get. And the most important one, and the one that you will work with in the project, is the class location, okay, which stores the data about the positioning. Okay, it stores the data about a given location. Okay, so when the location provider obtains information about the location, it will store that into a location object. Okay, and from this object, okay, we can get the latitude as a double in get latitude. We can get the longitude. Okay, there is a missing T here. We can get the speed. We can get the provider that provided the location. Okay, and also we can get the timestamp in which the location has been obtained. Okay, with the get time method. With the location manager, okay, we can also access the last location, okay, the last known location. With this, well, in this example, we get the location manager, we create a location, last location, and from the location manager will store, okay, the last known location, ¿vale? La última posición conocida of the device, okay? And for example, if this case, if the location is not null, okay, that location actually, the last location, the get last known location method actually returns something, we could do something with, okay, we could implement something depending on the location, okay. The get time method is interesting, okay, because maybe if the location was obtained some hours ago, we may expect that the device and the user has moved, and maybe we will want to update the location. And well, once we have a location manager, from the application we can register, okay, or unregister to a listener to receive updates of the position given by location provider, or register and unregister an intent, okay, for example, to be launched when the device is closed, okay, and close can be defined in a radius of meters of a given location, okay, of a given combination of latitude and longitude, okay. And as with the sensors, okay, again, we must implement an interface to receive this location information, which is implemented with the interface location listener, okay, which defines the methods on location change when the location is changed, on provider disable, on provider enable, okay. For example, if the user disables the GPS because it's consuming too much power, on provider enable, okay, when the user activates, for example, the GPS, and on status change, okay. In order to register a position listener, okay, we do that with again with the location manager. Okay, here you have an example, but I prefer to show you the code. Wait a moment. So I think I have an example here. A working example, I mean. Okay, let's see. I'm going to execute that. Building. A ver, la pregunta de Amancio, ¿vale? Os contesto en castellano para que se entienda, no haya dudas, ¿vale? Os he propuesto durante la asignatura muchas tareas, ¿vale? La idea un poco, al final, al programar se aprende programando, ¿vale? No, esto no es... A ver, quiero decir, es una asignatura al final y obviamente tenéis que aprobarla, ¿vale? Pero sí que es verdad, he intentado proponer bastantes actividades pensando también en que es una asignatura que normalmente vosotros cogeréis al final del grado y que en definitiva, pues, digamos, un poco lo que podemos enseñar en la asignatura es bastante limitado, ¿vale? Por limitaciones de tiempo y también por el diferente nivel que podéis tener cada uno de vosotros, ¿vale? Habrá gente que ya haya trabajado y vaya mucho más avanzada, gente que a lo mejor, como vimos al principio, pues que no está tan familiarizado con Java, etcétera. Entonces, he intentado plantear bastantes actividades precisamente para un poco invitaros a tocar código, ¿vale? Lo que va a ser evaluable va a ser el proyecto final que entreguéis de Android, ¿vale? Y las 2 tareas, ¿vale? Que planteé como obligatorias, ¿vale? Que esas las habéis presentado, las habéis entregado la mayoría de vosotros, ¿vale? Las que estaban marcadas en el aula virtual como, si no recuerdo mal, ¿vale? Como compulsory, estos 2 que estaban como assignment y assignment, ¿vale? Si el proyecto final está correcto, sí, la parte de Android la tendréis aprobada, ¿vale? Tened en cuenta que también está la parte de processing, ¿vale? No digas palabras en el chat que luego se queda todo grabado, hombre. Y ya está, ¿vale? En principio el reparto de nota seguramente sea un 20% para las 2 tareas estas, ¿vale? Y un 80% para el proyecto, ¿vale? Y eso es, ¿vale? Con las partes que están marcadas en el proyecto como obligatorias, ¿vale? Que sería un poco una funcionalidad muy básica que sí que está más orientada a que, pues bueno, que demostréis que por lo menos habéis aplicado los principales conceptos de la asignatura, pues podéis obtener hasta un 7 en el proyecto, ¿vale? Si queréis a más, pues podéis hacer las partes opcionales, ¿vale? Para obtener hasta un 10 en el proyecto, ¿vale? Los 2 assignments eran bastante sencillitos, ¿vale? A priori. Tanto el primero, desde luego, ¿vale? Que era un poco más para obligaros a que instalarais Android Studio. Y el segundo también, ¿vale? Que era el de la parte de el async task y el handler, ¿vale? La fecha de entrega que hay en el aula virtual es correcta, ¿vale? Sí, se entrega en mayo, ¿vale? Creo que teníamos lunes 17 de mayo, correcto, ¿vale? Tenéis tiempo. El consejo también es que luego tendréis que hacer los proyectos de processing, ¿vale? Entonces eso acumula la faena. Entonces, bueno, si podéis entregarlos con antelación, pues por supuesto mucho mejor. ¿Vale? ¿Alguna otra duda sobre esto? Sí, sí, se acumula. Y no os copiéis los códigos, que se nota un montón, sobre todo en esta asignatura, ¿vale? Cuando ves 2... El proyecto no se tiene que defender. No. ¿Vale? En principio tendréis que entregar el... No, no hace falta, no es necesario defenderlo. ¿Vale? Tenéis que entregarlo. Si... A ver, vemos un poco el nivel de cada uno, ¿no? Si veo que, bueno, igual puntualmente en ocasiones, pues sí que he pedido un poco de explicaciones de, oye, cómo se ha implementado esto, cómo no se ha implementado aquello, etcétera, ¿no? Para ver un poco cómo lo habéis trabajado, pero no es una defensa. ¿Vale? Vale, bueno, cualquier duda me decís. A ver, vale, pues mirad, aquí está esto. Parece que funciona, ¿vale? Bueno, a ver, es una aplicación súper, también como todas, súper básica, ¿vale? Básicamente lo que estamos haciendo es, os enseño primero el layout, ¿vale? Y luego vemos el código. Ok, come back to English, okay? So we have a layout with main activity and I have just a text view, okay? In this text view, I am putting the location to a string directly, okay? So if we play with that, we will see, okay, we have latitude 39, which is something around Valencia, and longitude Valencia, okay? In the virtual device, we have the option to emulate. It's an emulator, okay? We can emulate the location, okay? Right now, for example, I'm going to, okay, set location, okay? Oh, change it, okay? Now the location is latitude 39, blah, 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 and longitude, whatever, okay? If I go to Segorbe, for example, okay, and then Calle Fray Bonifacio, and I set the location, it should change again, okay? It changes, okay? The same here, okay, whatever you do. If you travel to here in the desert, okay, it changes. Okay, so well, it works. Okay, so we can very easily from our application, okay, to check whether to check the location. Okay, in this case from the GPS, if I don't remember badly, to get the location of the device. Going back to the code here. Okay, and the main activity. As you have seen, okay, we are implementing the location listener, okay, as we have seen in the slides. What we do here is that, well, we have the location manager, we have the text view, okay, and in the onCreate method, you will see that we do well some things, okay, that we haven't seen in the slides, okay. You may be familiar, especially those of you with Android, that when you open a new application, okay, which is requesting the location, the first time it will ask you to grant permission to the application to access the location. Okay, I will try to do that with a new device. So this is mandatory. Okay, in this case, in the onCreate, okay, we get a location manager. Okay, this location manager from the get system service, blah blah blah. And what you must do in the code, if to check, okay, whether the application has already the permission to access the location, okay? Because okay, we are requesting it here, okay, but even if we are requesting here, we must provide an explicit permission. The user must provide an explicit permission for accessing the location. So what we do with this block of code, okay, if well, we call this method check self permission, okay, okay, that, well, this is from the context class, okay, and actually, well, determines whether you the application have been granted a particular permission, okay. Which permission? This one, okay, access file location, okay. So with this if, okay, if well, we check the self permission, okay, and access file location is not granted, okay, and access card location is not granted neither, okay, we will request permission, okay, and we will display, okay, with this one, okay, the dialog, so the user can explicitly grant the permission to access the location, okay. Here you have a very good explanation, okay. So request permissions to be granted to this application, okay, with this method, blah blah blah. This permission must be requested in your manifest, okay. They should not be granted to your app, okay, blah 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 blah, okay. Okay, and here you have the explanation. If your app does not have the requested permission, the user will be presented with the user interface, okay, for accepting them. Oh, sorry. Okay. After the user has accepted or rejected the requested permission, you will receive a callback reporting whether, okay, well, the user has accepted or not, okay. So your activity, okay, our application needs to implement the on request permission results callback, okay, depending on what we do, okay. And the results permission request will be delivered again to this on request permission result, okay. That's why that we have implemented here, okay. So Very simple. Okay, if we don't have the permission, okay, we request the permission. Okay, and here we, well, this is the activity. Okay, the context, and we create a string with the an array with the access file location and the access code location. Okay, and return. Okay, and okay, if everything is granted, okay, we can call the location manager, okay, and request location updates. Okay, in this case, we are with the location manager, we are requesting location updates with the location manager. Okay, and we override the on location change. Okay, then okay, if this method, okay, triggers detects or returns a change in the location, okay, we will call the on location change and we will update, okay, the text, okay, in the text in the text view. Okay, in this case, well, latitude plus location get latitude plus longitude location plus get longitude. Okay, I have override here on provider disabled and provider enabled. Okay, well, just to do some logging. Okay, some on status change. Okay, you can see. Okay, okay, here. Okay, status. Okay, and finally, here we have the result of the request permission. Okay, so if the basically what we are doing here, okay, we have the request code, which is 100. If the request is cancelled, okay, the result array will be empty. Okay, so if the results array is not empty, okay, and the result is permission granted, okay, well, the permission was granted, good, okay, so we can do whatever we want. Okay, in this case, we request the location update. Okay, if the permission is not granted, okay, I am just displaying a toast, okay, a message in the screen of the device saying location fail. Okay, blah 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 blah. I'm doing that, okay, because if you see in the first time I check, when I start the application, I want to display the location, okay? So if I check the self permission, I request the permission. If everything is granted, okay, I display the location, but if it's not granted, I must check that, okay? So in this case, I check the location, I ask for the permission, and if it's granted, then I call for the first time the request location update from the location manager. Okay, I'm going to try, let me see if I have a new, let me see if it works here in a new device. So where maybe I haven't I haven't installed the application yet. Wait a moment. ¿Tenéis alguna duda sobre esto? Ahora os compartiré el código, ¿vale? Os sirve de base para... Os puede servir de base para la práctica, para el proyecto. Hay más maneras, ¿vale? De trabajar con la ubicación en Android, ¿vale? Al final he intentado poneros la más sencilla que he encontrado. Más sencilla. No sé si es la más sencilla, pero bueno, es bastante asequible, ¿vale? Y es bastante fácil de entender. Luego podéis complicarlo más. A ver si funciona. Vamos a ver. Okay, so I have created the I have installed the application, and the first time, okay, the application here, since the permission was not granted, okay, I am requesting, okay, from the application, I'm requesting the user to grant me the permission to access the location, okay, and if I allow it, I should get, okay, latitude and longitude, okay, and I think it should be Mountain View or Google headquarters. Okay, and if I change that, okay, it changes again, okay. So that's all, okay. I will make a zip and I will upload that into the virtual classroom. Again, there are many other ways. There are other ways to access the location, okay? And you can, well, depending on, again, what you want to achieve, you can do different things, okay? Okay, for example, you could request the location update only when the user clicks on a button to access the location, for example, to refresh. Okay, that's more simple than that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll close that. And okay, to finish that, just a few slides about Bluetooth. Well, it's true that, well, you want, well, it depends. Okay, Bluetooth is a very specific case of communication, okay, between devices. I don't know if any of you are interested in some kind of Bluetooth application, okay? Maybe within a, okay, so a TFG or something like that. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly give you an overview of that, okay? So, okay, almost any Android device does provide support, okay, for the Bluetooth network stack, okay? So we can exchange data wirelessly, okay, with other Bluetooth devices, okay? And you can think a lot of about a lot of Bluetooth devices. The application framework, okay, provides an access to the Bluetooth functionality, again, through an API, okay? And, well, we have two versions of Bluetooth, okay? The Bluetooth Classic, okay, which will be, well, more battery-intensive operations, for example, streaming, communication between Android devices, and so on. And what is called Bluetooth Low Energy, okay, for transferring small amounts of data between nearby devices. That's, well, that's something about networking, okay? So both devices, okay, those both devices where Bluetooth is enabled must create a communication channel, okay, and must pair, okay? You will, I'm sure that you have seen this of pairing device, no? Emparejando. So how does it work? One device, okay, which is the discoverable device, makes itself available for incoming connection request, okay? Another device finds the discoverable device, okay, using a service discovery process, and the discoverable device accepts a pairing request from the second device, okay? So both of them complete a bonding process, okay, and, well, they exchange some security keys. The devices may store these keys for later use, okay, so they remain already paired, okay, and well, once the pairing and the bonding processes are done, the devices can start to exchange information, okay. So when the session is complete, when we have finished exchanging information, okay, the device that initiated the pairing, okay, the second one, okay, this one, releases the channel, okay, that has linked it to the discoverable device, okay, and anyway, the two devices will remain bonded, okay, so they can reconnect automatically during a future session, okay, when, of course, when they are in a physical range of distance, okay. And of course, if neither device has removed the bond, if one of the devices removes the pairing, removes the bond, they won't be able to connect automatically. The permissions we need to work with Bluetooth are Bluetooth permission, okay, which is needed to perform any Bluetooth action, requesting a connection, accepting a connection, transferring data. We need access to request, again, the access course location and access file location, okay, because the Bluetooth scans can also be used to get information about the location, okay, and the permission Bluetooth admin to actually initiate device discovery or to manipulate Bluetooth settings from the application, okay. So the user doesn't need to go to the settings of the device. There are several. The Bluetooth API provides support for different, let's say, Bluetooth profiles, okay. There is a profile for typically for headsets, okay, the Bluetooth headset class, A2D2, okay, for high quality audio streaming, which is the one that you use for the for streaming, and there is a specific health profile for wearables, okay, typically health devices, okay, monitoring something about health status and so on, okay, with these classes: Bluetooth Health Callback, and Bluetooth Health App Configuration. Okay, some kind of specific specifications, okay, for wireless communication between Bluetooth devices, depending on the case. Okay, here you have an example of the of a Bluetooth headset. Okay, Bluetooth for a headset, los auriculares. Okay. I'm not going to into the details. Okay, so just going through the steps that we have seen before. Okay, we first of all we should verify, okay, that Bluetooth is supported on the device. Okay, and if Bluetooth is supported, then to ensure that Bluetooth is enabled. Okay, so first of all, we get a Bluetooth adapter, okay, which is required for any Bluetooth activity. Okay, here you have the example: a Bluetooth adapter, get default adapter. Okay, okay. If this Bluetooth adapter is null, it means that the device doesn't support Bluetooth. Okay, and then if Bluetooth is supported, then we will check whether it is enabled or not. Okay, if it's not enabled, okay, we will create an intent to enable it, okay, from the application. Okay, and well, we start that with the start activity for result. Okay, an intent as we have seen in previous sessions. Then we look for devices. Okay, this discovery process will search, okay, the local area, the nearby area, for Bluetooth enabled devices. Okay, and will request some information about them. Okay, another Bluetooth device will only respond to a discovery request, okay, if it is accepting information request by being discoverable. Okay, being discoverable means that this device can provide information to the devices attempting to to locate other Bluetooth devices. Okay, so when with the information provided by the discoverable Bluetooth device, okay, the device that is performing the discovery process can choose to initiate a connection to this device, okay? And in this case, a pairing request, okay, is automatically presented to the user. Okay, you will get some basic information, the name, class, the MAC address, and so on. And well, typically you get your phone and you get a pairing request. Okay, so whatever device is trying to connect with you, you can accept that or not. Here there's a different two different status. Okay, when the device, when both devices are paired, okay, it means that both devices are aware of each other's existence. Okay, and they share a link key that can be used for authentication. Okay, and that they are capable of establishing a connection, encrypted connection, but the connection is not yet established. And when the status is connected, both devices are sharing a radio channel, okay, and they are able to transmit data with each other, okay. Then of course it makes sense that the Android API, okay, require devices to be paired, okay, before this connection, this wireless connection can be established, okay. Actually, the pairing is automatic. When you try to initiate a connection from the Bluetooth with the Bluetooth API, a pairing is automatically done. Okay, it's automatically started. So what do here is that, well, we call start discovery. Okay, we register. We haven't seen already that. Okay, we haven't seen yet the broadcast receiver. Okay, but well, we call it start discovery. Okay, we register a broadcast receiver for the action found intent. Okay, so the idea is the system will broadcast this intent for each device. Okay, for each device that is found. Okay, so we start the discovery. Okay, in our device, and our application will wait for receiving an intent of the system that given device has been found. Okay, and well, to enable this discoverability call, okay, we can do that with the action request discoverable, okay, in the discoverable device. So here you have an example, find devices, okay. In this case, okay, well, in the onCreate method, okay, let's see that you are trying to look for devices. Okay, so first of all, we register our application for doing something when the system discovers a new device. Okay, here you create the broadcast receiver. Okay, and what we do here, okay, well, when the Bluetooth device, when the system founds a device, okay, a discoverable device, okay, we create it as a Bluetooth device, the device, okay, and we get information about it, okay, the name and the address. Secondly, we need to connect, okay, both devices, okay, from the server side and the client side, okay. Quickly, we open a server socket, okay, and we initiate a connection using the server device MAC address, okay. We get a Bluetooth server socket, we start listening for connection request, okay, and when it's successful, we will the accept method will return a connected Bluetooth socket, okay, and we can close, okay, If we don't want to accept additional connection, okay, we can close the socket and release the server socket, okay. But what is interesting here is that we are not accepting additional connection, okay, but we are not closing the connected Bluetooth socket. So here you have again an example, okay. It's implemented in a thread, okay. So we have the Bluetooth server socket, blah blah blah, and here what we are doing is that, okay, we are listening, okay, with the Bluetooth adapter, okay. And well, here in the run method of the thread, okay, we keep listening, okay, until, okay, there is some exception, of course, or the socket is we get a socket from the from this server socket, okay, from this Bluetooth server socket, okay. And once we get one, we accept it, okay. And finally, what we do here is that if socket is not null, okay, we do whatever we want to do, okay, and finally we close the Bluetooth socket, okay. And well, we also implement a cancel method, okay, to close the Bluetooth socket and to finish the thread. In the client, okay, we obtain a Bluetooth device, okay, that represents the remote device, and we acquire a Bluetooth socket from it, okay, to start the connection, okay. We use the Bluetooth device, we get a Bluetooth socket, okay, and we call this create blah 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 socket to service record, okay, and we initiate the connection with connect, okay. This is a blocking, so we can this is a blocking action, okay, so we need to do that in the background, okay. So again, with a thread, we have the socket, we have the device, okay, and well, what you have seen before, okay, we get a Bluetooth socket, we connect with the other Bluetooth device, okay, and we get the we work with this socket, okay. And in the run of the thread, okay, we do the connect, okay, and we do the connection, okay. So essentially, I'm not going into the details, okay, because I think that you are not going to work with that at least soon. But the idea is, okay, that you establish a socket, okay, you discover the both devices, you can use the API in order to achieve that, and you can you establish the connection, and then you work normally. Once we have both devices have a connected Bluetooth socket, okay, we can start doing things with the connection, okay. We can get an input stream, an output stream, okay, in order to handle the transmission through the socket, okay, and we can read and write data to the streams, to the input stream or the output stream with read and write, okay. So in order to read from the stream or write to the stream, we must use a dedicated thread, okay, because both of them are blocking calls, are blocking methods, okay. So we cannot, in Android, remember, you cannot block the user interface, and that's all, okay. Any question on that? I know that probably you won't use that, okay, soon, but I wanted to give you just an overview of connecting devices with Bluetooth. Okay. Okay, I think I haven't uploaded it yet. Okay. That's all. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to explain it to you today. Okay, I wanted to be a bit shorter so I can so we can have well now 20 minutes something like that, okay? If you have any question on the project or you have any doubt, okay? Because, well, I have seen that after 3 sessions, some of you are more advanced, some of you maybe have some delay. So, again, if you have any questions, si tenéis cualquier pregunta, etcétera, ¿vale? Tenemos ahora pues 20 minutos para comentarlas e intentar resolverlas, ¿vale? Y por supuesto, si tenéis también alguna duda sobre lo que hemos visto hoy, ¿vale? Vale. Vale, pues si quieres ahora luego lo vemos. A ver si alguien tiene alguna otra pregunta. O si queréis, yo voy a seguir conectado hasta las 7:30, lógicamente. ¿Vale? Si tenéis cualquier duda, la planteáis. ¿Vale? Aprovechad. Una especie de, bueno, tutoría tampoco, ¿vale? Si que necesitáis cualquier tutoría, a mí o a Miriam, si estáis con Miriam, ¿vale? Por supuesto, la pedís sin problema. Hola, Jorge. Pues las tutorías, en principio, son los martes por la tarde, ¿vale? Es el momento en que mejor me viene. Pero como estamos todos así en remoto y demás, pues en cualquier momento podemos buscar un momento, sobre todo por las tardes, ¿vale? Encontrar pues fácil los 15 minutos, 30 minutos para tutoría sin problema, ¿vale? Me lo enviáis por correo mejor, ¿vale? Que a veces las notificaciones del Teams, si no las tengo abiertas, no me saltan, ¿vale? Me lo enviáis por correo y buscamos el momento para quedar. En principio, las tutorías sí que las estoy haciendo todas virtuales, ¿vale? Y bueno, ahora o más adelante, ¿vale? Como tenéis hasta mayo, sin prisa, no os esperéis todos a la última semana, también ocurre, ¿vale? Pero tenéis tiempo. ¿Vale? ¿En qué estáis encontrando más problema en la práctica? En el proyecto, perdón. Aquellos que tengáis un poco más. O mejor dicho, ¿qué sesión os ha costado más? La última, sí, la última es un poco más compleja, que es bastante más larga, sí. Vale. A ver. Sí, Nuria, esta está un poquito menos guiada, ¿vale? En principio es la parte de SQL, ¿vale? Que tenéis el código de ejemplo que vimos en clase y que yo creo que lo he subido, ¿verdad? Sí, el Database Code Example lo tenéis subido, ¿vale? En principio ahí tenéis un buen ejemplo. ¿Vale? Y la parte de localización la estoy subiendo ahora. Sí. A ver, ahí tenéis dos partes. Uno, ser capaces de almacenar en la base de datos, ¿correcto? ¿Vale? Y luego lo segundo, mostrarlo en la vista del municipio, ¿no? La idea que teníamos nosotros, que podéis implementarlo de diferentes maneras, ¿vale? Es que cuando tú entras en el municipio, te salgan los datos del municipio, incidencia, etcétera, y un listado con los casos comunicados, con los casos registrados, ¿vale? A mano, con los síntomas y toda la historia, ¿vale? Que cuando haces clic ahí, pues puedas, a su vez, ver el detalle del caso. Una especie de historia clínica súper básica. ¿Vale? Bueno, no quiero marearos. Creo que ya lo comenté no sé si lo comenté en mi grupo de laboratorio, ¿vale? La otra manera, pero es más compleja, creo yo, ¿vale? Aunque es más alto nivel, pues puede ser un poquito más compleja, precisamente por eso también hay un poquito más de abstracción, es utilizar room, ¿vale? Que es bueno, que es una librería, ¿vale? Para, bueno, de persistencia, ¿vale? Pero no os recomiendo si no lo tenéis muy controlado, no os recomiendo que os metáis con ella, ¿vale? De hecho, Android recomienda utilizar Room en lugar de utilizar SQLite directamente, pero yo creo que para un ejemplo sencillo el SQLite es más fácil de entender porque veis el SQL directamente de una manera un poco más, creo que es un poco más evidente. Voy a subir el código de lo de la ubicación. Vamos a ver. Vale, perfecto. Vale, en cualquier momento, vale, no, vamos, nos preguntáis tanto a Miriam como a mí, nos podéis preguntar lo que queráis. Vale, ya tenéis el código de location, ¿vale? Subido ahí subido al aula virtual. Vale, una duda que surgió también en algún laboratorio fue el tema de... bueno, a ver, es verdad que el tema de los reportes, ¿vale? De los síntomas, en el enunciado os poníamos que se podían guardar como, para hacerlo más sencillo, como un string, ¿no? Meter un string y demás. Podéis hacer un string, ¿vale? O podéis hacer también un... Bueno, podéis guardarlo de muchas maneras, ¿vale? La manera más bruta sería coger y, bueno, todos los síntomas que marque el usuario, ¿vale? Meterlos a capón todos dentro de un string, ¿vale? Y almacenar ese string en la base de datos y luego ya, pues, o mostrarlo tal cual, o parsearlo, o lo que veáis, ¿vale? O bien crear una columna para cada una de los síntomas, ¿vale? Y que sea pues eso, un 1, un 0, ¿vale? Un boolean, y si está el síntoma, o no está el síntoma, ¿vale? También preguntasteis si qué pasaba si el usuario no marcaba ningún síntoma, pero bueno, como hay tanto caso asintomático, pues quizá tiene sentido también, ¿no? Que pueda ser, que pueda no registrar ningún síntoma. Perdona, SQLite no tiene boolean, ¿vale? Puedes utilizar un entero y 0 para false y 1 para true. No hay un tipo de dato boolean nativo. ¿Vale? Y aunque, como es normal, al principio os vais a, y es lo que tenéis que hacer, ¿vale? Os vais a centrar más en la funcionalidad, no olvidéis también intentar trabajar el aspecto físico el aspecto visual de la aplicación, ¿vale? Que sea, digamos, que es una aplicación chula, que sea bonita. Vale, los elementos del detalle, vale, sí, a ver, la idea es que, a ver, espera un momento, a ver si os puedo enseñar si me funciona. Ay, no lo tengo aquí. Correcto, sí, mira, a ver, os voy a enseñar para que lo veáis la aplicación que teníamos el año pasado. A ver si la tengo por aquí. Un ejemplo. A ver, espera. Un momentín. Os lo enseño por aquí. Dadme un minuto. Solo un minutín. Sí, a ver. Pero esos tienen que ser los menús los menús que aparezcan en las opciones que aparezcan en el menú de la barra, ¿vale? Entonces, la idea es que, básicamente, yo en este momento tu aplicación va a tener tres actividades, ¿vale? Voy a tener una actividad con el listado de municipios, ¿vale? Más o menos bonito. Cuando hago clic en uno de los municipios, me va a abrir otra actividad con información adicional sobre el municipio, ¿vale? Y en concreto ahí voy a tener pues los datos detallados y un listado de los casos notificados en cada uno de los municipios, ¿vale? Y luego vas a tener una actividad, ¿vale? Con la información de un caso en concreto, ¿vale? Entonces, en esa última, ¿vale? Tendrás arriba en el menú superior, ¿vale? Esa última aplicación, esa última actividad nos va a permitir introducir registros, ¿vale? En la base de datos. Entonces, en el menú superior, lo que voy a tener va a ser la opción de cuando estoy introduciendo los datos de un caso, pues insertarlo, ¿vale? El típico checkbox de guardar, ¿vale? Guardar, ¿vale? Guardo el caso en la base de datos, ¿vale? O si es un caso ya existente, ya creado, que estoy consultando, actualizarlo, ¿vale? Cambiar algo, el update, ¿vale? Básicamente, la primera opción del menú, el primer ítem, será para guardar en la base de datos, bien un nuevo registro, bien actualizar el registro existente, ¿vale? Y otra opción dentro del menú para eliminar ese registro de la base de datos, ¿vale? Eliminar ese caso, ¿vale? No sé si me explico. Un botón de guardar y un botón de eliminar. Muy, muy por encima. Claro, sí. A ver, la idea ahí es que, por ejemplo, si yo en cualquier lugar de la aplicación, ¿vale? Tengo el botón flotante para lanzar esa tercera actividad, ¿vale? Si lo aprieto, ¿vale? Me va a llevar a esa actividad vacía donde yo voy a rellenar los datos, ¿vale? Pam, 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 pongo la fecha, no sé qué, el municipio, no sé menos, los síntomas, pam, pam, ¿vale? Y al final del proceso, ¿qué hago? Pues le doy a guardar, ¿vale? Al primer ítem del menú. Insertar, inserto en la base de datos, ¿vale? Y Jorge, sí, eso va en el menú de eso va en el menú de esa activity, correcto. ¿Vale? Pensad, es un formulario, ¿vale? Y en un formulario, ¿qué tienes? Los campos para rellenar el formulario y tienes el botón de guardar o eliminar. Si quiere borrar, solo pones el código, ¿vale? A ver, ahí pueden pasar. No, ahí lo que haría yo, ¿vale? Pensando en la experiencia de usuario, ¿vale? Yo estoy en la actividad de un municipio, ¿vale? Me sale, pues yo qué sé, Valencia, incidencia tal, no sé qué, no sé cuántos, tal. Y debajo tengo un listado con los casos notificados, ¿vale? Hago clic en uno de esos casos, ¿vale? Y me lleva a la actividad con el formulario relleno, ¿vale? Con todos los datos que he obtenido de la base de datos, ¿vale? Que ya los había guardado antes. Ahí que pueden pasar dos cosas. Uno, que el usuario quiera actualizarlo, ¿vale? Entonces lo que hago es cambiar lo que sea, le doy al botón de guardar, que sería el mismo que el de insertar, ¿vale? Podría ser un checkbox o el disco de guardar, y entonces actualizo completamente el registro, o con el de borrar, pues lo elimino. Y tendrá que desaparecer, claro, de la base de datos y del Recycler View o del Disk View que tengáis en el municipio. ¿Se me entiende ahora un poquillo mejor? Vale. Vale, lo bueno que ahora tenéis la semana de no fallas para trabajar en el proyecto. Fíjate el lado positivo. Dime. Vale. A ver si. A ver, espera a ver si consigo. A ver si consigo enseñaros la aplicación funcionando. Un momentito. Así veis una idea un poco de la funcionalidad. A ver. A ver. A ver, dime, sí, vi que no lo encontrabas. A ver. Ja, ja, ja. Vale, esa es la parte final, ¿verdad? Vale. ¿Has mirado el último? Vale, sí, tiene su historia. ¿Has mirado el enunciado de la última parte?
Me lo he leído.
Vale. Vale. Mira, a ver lo que pone. Vamos a ver. Os comparto pantalla por aquí. Creo que está explicadillo más o menos. Vamos a ver. Sí, a ver, tiene un poquito de trampa, ¿vale? Bueno, trampa. Tiene un poquito de trampa, sí. Vamos a ver. Vale. A ver un momento, que os comparto pantalla y os lo explico, ¿vale? Si queréis adelantar. Pantalla 2, aquí. Vale, lo veis, ¿no? Vale. A ver. A ver. Vale. Vale. Vale, este es aquí. Vale, ¿de dónde tengo ese link? Vale, ese link. Vamos a ver si funciona. ¿Funciona si lo abres?
Sí,
Vale, lo abro en una pestaña nueva.
pero no sé
Vale.
si está actualizado con los datos más recientes.
Debería estar actualizado. Vamos a ver.
A mí me suena que sí, porque me sale que la semana pasada creo que eran 17 recursos y ahora son
Ahora
19
son 18, correcto, ¿vale?
o algo
Entonces,
así.
¿cuál es el rollo aquí? ¿Vale? Eso, bueno, lo explicaremos en el laboratorio, ¿vale? Básicamente, aquí estás mostrando, esto está estructurado con, bueno, de una manera, ¿vale? Con el pecan, pecan, con la API pecan, ¿vale? Pecan, pecan. No me sale ahora, da igual. Pero básicamente, sí, en este link, ¿vale? En este ID, ¿vale? Ese es el ID del paquete, digamos, del paquete de datos que contiene los casos confirmados por PCR positiva, por municipio, ¿vale? Entonces, esto es un paquete de datos que contiene recursos, ¿vale? Entonces, si le echas un vistazo al JSON, ¿vale? Pues contiene un resultado, ¿vale? Eso es igual que el otro, ¿vale? Y luego, dentro de resources, tienes desde 0 hasta 18, ¿vale? Entonces, para cada uno, esto conforme se van añadiendo JSONs con todos los datos de todos los municipios, creo que son 2 veces a la semana, se genera un nuevo recurso y este archivo lo actualizan, ¿vale? Y de aquí, ¿vale? Del ID puedes obtener la ruta al, al último set de datos actualizado. ¿Me sigues? Es decir,
Sí.
si yo me voy aquí, a la primera página está, a ver, ¿dónde estaba? Aquí. ¿Vale? Yo tengo este aquí, ¿vale? Yo abro esto. Vamos a abrirlo ahí a saco. Lo abro aquí. ¿Vale? Yo aquí estoy obteniendo el de fecha. Bueno, a ver si está por aquí. Estos son los fields, perdona. ¿Vale? Bueno, aquí no me da la fecha, ¿vale? Tendría que obtener la fecha de aquí, ¿vale? Pero este es el F6CB, ¿vale? El F6CB es este de por aquí, ahora no me acuerdo cuál era, ¿vale? Pero es el, no sé si el 13 o el 14, ¿vale? Es uno anterior, es de cuando hicimos el enunciado, ¿vale? ¿Qué pasa? Durante este tiempo han ido actualizándolo, ¿vale? Entonces, claro, ¿cómo saber cuál es el ID del recurso? Pues tienes que irte a la descripción del paquete, ¿vale? Irte al último, ¿vale? O sea, tienes que navegar en JSON, irte realmente al último objeto de este array, de ahí coger el ID y con ese ID crearte la URL para acceder a los datos más actualizados. Oye, ¿vale? Si yo meto esto aquí, ¿vale? Debería darme, ¿vale? Los datos actualizados de esta semana, ¿vale? Con lo cual, ¿por qué mola la aplicación? Pues porque puedes estar viendo los datos de los últimos datos del COVID ahí de una manera más o menos visual, ¿vale? Y a partir de ahí pues podrías sacar un mogollón de cosas. Podrías comparar con la variación con la semana anterior, variación en el último mes. Una vez tienes los datos puedes hacer cosillas. ¿Vale?
Mi duda era que no sabía.
Eso no, ya no lo hemos puesto en el enunciado.
Mi duda era que no sabía si el link me lo actualizaba, pero sí.
Sí, aquí con básicamente
Vale,
la idea es eso,
ese.
es pillar aquí, pillar el ID, ¿vale? Hay que saber cuál es el ID, ¿vale? Coger el ID y el ID, con el ID te puedes construir la URL, bueno, básicamente hacer la consulta a la Data Store, ¿vale?
Pero
Con
siempre cogemos la última, ¿no?
Normalmente es la última, sí. Yo lo que he visto es que lo iban añadiendo. Podrías sacar la fecha, ¿vale? Pero mira, esto es 10 de marzo, pues esta es de hoy. ¿Vale? Vale, pero bueno, sí, va por orden. O sea, cuando saques el array, si coges el último, te dará el último. ¿Vale? Puedes coger el último ya anterior y ver si sube, si baja, puedes hacerle cosillas. ¿Vale? Vale, pues venga, ya está. Gracias por aguantar aquí a los 11 que habéis aguantado. ¿Vale? Y nada, seguimos. Cualquier duda ya sabéis dónde estamos. ¿Vale?